What is going on, my peoples? Welcome back to the channel, and today's video is brought to you by Shafik. Shafik son chef on les fûts, c'est magnifique. I have no idea what I just said. But anyways, coming on to today's video is going to be the War Machine. But this time around, it's Punisher. Inside, it is the Punisher War Machine armor. And this War Machine or Punisher or a combination of the two looks outstanding. I really like how this is coming about. The paint application, what stand out on this figure, to me at least the most, with the skull on the face and the skull on the chest with no arc reactor, is just mind-blowing. Really cool. The fact that they took the liberty to make a figure out of a mobile video game, the lengths that Hot Toys will take when it comes to doing repaints. Repaints are easy money for them, so they take advantage of that every time they can, and this is an excellent representation and an excellent opportunity for them to make an awesome repaints. I am not a huge fan of repaints, but this one, if I were to get one, it will be this one, because this looks absolutely badass. And coming on to the likeness, and I usually say when Hepskull is really good, I say that it's a 10 out of 10. Well, I have to say that this guy is probably an 11 out of 10, because this guy looks better than the source material that he's coming out of. Like, this is out of a mobile game, right? So the Hepskull on this guy looks 10 times better than it could possibly look on the mobile. It looks really good. I really like the scars that he has on his forehead, on his cheeks, the expression on his face, badass. The determination, he's mad, he is pissed off, and he's just loaded with weapons everywhere. And you have the expression on his face to show for it. I think this is an absolutely perfect Hepskull, no doubt about that. When it comes to the other Hepskull that he comes with, like the helmeted one, another perfect 10 out of 10. This skull they have painted on the Hepskull, it just blew my mind. It is absolutely perfect. I really like it. And with the red eyes, amazing. I have nothing but good things to say about how they have implemented this Punisher into this armor. We can also see here that he has two shoulder cannons. You guys remember my collection, how I have my Mark III with those two shoulder cannons? Yeah. This is what I got it from, because this is actually from the comics, and then they put it into the game, and now we have a Hot Toys made out of that. But yeah, really cool. This is the Mark III gun over the shoulder, and this is a completely new, very similar to the Mark 1, but not yet, because the Mark 1 will be a lot longer than that. So yeah, not quite, but really cool. We also have the missiles over here coming out of his shoulders, I guess, his chest, that zone in between the chest and the traps over here, somewhere around that ballpark. So yeah, also coming from, this is pretty much a repaint of the Mark III, but they have they give him the shoulder pads for from the Mark 1, and then they also included these new weapons, that these are completely brand new. He's also including the Mark III underneath the forearm weapons. They are exactly the same. And this sonic beam, whatever they're called, gauntlets, they are the exact same as the Mark III. Really neat. So over here we can see the skull on the chest, very reminiscent of the Punisher skull. Really cool. And on the previous armors that he had, Ultrons, he has little skulls over here now of the people that supposedly he has killed. Pretty nice. This is the 000 armor which I don't know where that he got that number from, but yeah, that is the mark is 0. This is pretty much mark Punisher 0. And we can see here the Gatling gun is on a bolt joint, so you're gonna be able to move it in every possible direction that bolt joint is gonna allow you to. Really cool. So another of the accessories that he comes with is this little flares for the guns. When he's firing all cylinders, he has all of these flares to show for, and all over the shoulder guns and the ones that he has on his forearms. Really cool. I'm not a big fan of those when it comes to lightning, but when it comes to fire, they don't look that bad. And since this is coming from a video game armor, I could see myself using it for a little while, but I also could see myself, if I stay on it too long, I think it detracts a little bit from the armor itself. The armor looks so realistic, so badass, and those little fires, they're gonna bring him down a little bit, because you can tell that it's just not it's not real. Obviously, it's not real either way, but it just, I don't know. You guys know what I mean. But yeah, really cool there, including that for pictures and stuff like that, and for posting as well. I think it could work for many people. Maybe not just me. Maybe me for a while. A very short while. I included this picture because it's really funny to me how when you twist the torso to get him in a position, how the skull is not aligned top with the bottom. And now he looks like he's like, who are you? I am the Punisher. Who? The Punisher. It's just, I'm stupid, don't listen to me. He still look badass though. This is an amazing armor. And so yeah, guys, I don't know what else to say. This is beautiful armor, and it's based off the Mark III, which is the current best armor that we have. And Mark IV is rapidly coming on 2020. I don't know how rapid is that, how fast is 2020 coming at us, but we already in May, so it's coming really quickly, believe it or not. If you're waiting for it, it's not gonna be here anytime soon, but if you're not waiting for it, it will surprise you. You're gonna have to pay, like, hey, you have to pay for your Mark IV, let's do it. But we are all eagerly awaiting for that Mark IV Iron Wing. And yeah, this is everything is going to be included on the package. We just went through everything. He comes with a few hands, with a stand, with all of his weapons, and with the little flashy fiery coming out of the weapons once he's supposed to be firing them. So coming on to the price for this guy, and this guy is coming at $3,982, and I have a big problem with this price, because this guy is just a remake. This guy, they use every single part from the Mark III, and they just repainted it with the Punisher on top of it. And for something like that, it shouldn't be that pricey. Like the Mark III was $344. That was years ago. We get it. I understand. If you can see here, this is the exact same armor that he's wearing, just with a completely different colored paint job on top, and he's using this guy's shoulder pads. So basically, that is what is putting this together. This guy is from a video game license. You don't have to pay an actor like Don Cheadle to have his likeness on this figure. That alone should bring down the price. The fact that this is 95% everything is already redone from the Mark III, that should bring the price down as well. Yet it's not. It is a big time price. For example, when you compare him to this guy had to be done from the ground up. Nothing here is redone. Everything has to be recasted for this model. Everything here is completely brand new. Yet he's going for a lot less, $369, and obviously this guy is going for a lot more, but everything is recast here, and you have to pay the actor. So yeah, but when comparing this guy here with this guy here, I know this one looks better than that one, but at the same time, that is not a justification to be charging more for the figure that you didn't have to pay a higher license for. Or is it? Is it a fact that we can do whatever the hell we want with our prices? You have two choices, either pay for it or not. It might be. By the way, all of these crazy prices that we are seeing, they might not even be Hot Toys. They're probably not even Hot Toys. This is probably sideshows who has a better understanding of Western market, because I've seen prices. I wish I could come across all the prices from Hot Toys to compare them to see the markup that the sideshow is doing on everything, because I've seen a few, and every time I see the markup, it is substantial. So I think sideshow is the culprit here, because they're the ones charging us these ridiculous prices, because they know what we're gonna pay for. They know what we are going to want in our collection. So yeah, they're charging us because of that. Hot Toys, they're probably going to be increasing their prices just a little bit, just a tad, but I think sideshows and Big Bad Toys and whatever, Big Bad Toy has the same exact price that these people have, so they're as guilty as sideshow. But yeah, I think this guy is really, really overpriced. He looks badass. He looks amazing, but he's big time overpriced for being something cast, recasted from a previous War Machine, completely recasted. They just have to paint it again, and coming from a video game, from a Marvel video game license, no way. He's too expensive for me. I was not gonna be getting him, even though if he was $300, I would not get him, because he doesn't fit in my collection. Me particularly, I love the way he looks. I would love to have him, but I have other priorities that I need to get before this guy. But if you're willing to pay $392, and it doesn't matter that he is not on the MCU just yet, you're gonna have a hell of a figure on your hands. And if you happen to have the John Berthel head sculpt, if you can put it inside this suit, it's gonna look badass. I think I've seen somebody already done that, but that is like a no-brainer, like getting John Berthel's head sculpt, put it on this guy, and now you can feed it on the MCU. Pretty badass. I could totally see myself doing that if I were to get this figure, if I had the money for it. Sadly, I don't have many others to prioritize, but if you have the chance to do that, I would love to see it done. It would look amazing. Really cool. So yeah, guys, that is what I think about the Punisher War Machine armor. What do you think? Are you gonna be getting this figure? Do you think he's expensive for the license and being a recast from the Mark III, or you think this price is completely justifiable? And thank God we have a Iron Man figure that is underneath the $400 mark, even though it's only for $8. So put it all in the comments below. I'll see you guys there, and don't be a stranger on the channel. Be around.